Goeiemôre en hartlik welkom by GROOTplaas. Ek is Elsa Esterhuizen. Ons fokus vanoggend onder andere op 'n opkomende konferensie van die Produce Marketing Association en vind uit wat belanghebbendes van die geleentheid kan verwag. Lianne Jones van die PMA sluit later by ons aan vir hierdie gesprek. So bly gerus ingeskakel daarvoor na vandag se landbounuus. Volgens die hawebestuurder by die Kaapstad Hawe, Mpumi Deba-Kwetana, is die agterstand daar uit die weg geruim na 6 weke van harde werk en vergaderings tussen belanghebbendes. Landbou.com berig skepe wag nou nie langer as 'n dag om die vraghouerterminaal binne te gaan nie. 'n Herstelplan vir die veeldoelige terminaal, wat aan die begin van verlede maand sowat 75% in bedryf was, sal binnekort tydens 'n vergadering met belanghebbendes voorgelê word. Dit volg nadat die bemanning van skepe wat by die hawe in- en uitvaar voltallig is, nadat gevalle van COVID-19 en personeellede wat onder kwarantyne geplaas moes word, die bemanning tot 60% verminder het. Deba-Kwetana meen egter alhoewel die storm vereers stil is dit nog nie verby nie en moet die maatreëls wat in plek gestel is streng gevolg word. Sy sê die hawe sal voortgaan om produktiwiteit te bevorder en skepe terug te bring om die herstel van die Wes-Kaapse as ook nasionale ekonomie aan te moedig. Volgens 'n berig op landbou.com kan 5 frontale stelsels oor die volgende maand nog reën vir die winterreënstreek bring, terwyl baie koue toestande tot ten minste die einde van Augustus oor groot dele van die land in die vooruitsig is. Die onafhanklike landbouweerkundige Johan van den Berg sê die reën wat die stelsels bring kan ook langs die suid- en ooskus uitbrei om ook reën vir die Oos-Kaap te bring. Dit word glo veral vir die periode van die 17de tot die 20ste Augustus verwag en dan weer van die 25ste tot die 27ste Augustus. Reën word intussen die week en die naweek oor dele van die winterreënstreek verwag, terwyl die Suid-Afrikaanse Weerdiens waarsku dat stormsterk winde vandag tussen Kaappunt en Kaap Agulhas kan voorkom. Daarmee vandag se landbounuus. Ons fokus vanoggend onder andere op 'n opkomende konferensie van die Produce Marketing Association en vind uit wat belanghebbendes van die geleentheid kan verwag. Lianne Jones van die PMA sluit nou by ons aan vir hierdie interessante gesprek. Good morning, Lianne, and thank you for joining us again.
Good morning, Elsa. Lovely to be back.
Now, Lianne, we are seeing an increase in consumers' desire for fresh and clean eating. What are the latest global consumer trends?
Globally, we're seeing quite a few trends coming through quite strongly around fresh produce in particular. One of them is provenance. And so provenance is really about being local and eating local food. And so consumers are finding from many factors that from food safety, supply chain disruptions, having less money in their pocket every month, that local is really becoming more and more important to them in the choices that they make for their food choices. We're also seeing that nutrition is becoming exceptionally important. So when they're shopping for food, the nutrition label on the back of the food pack is definitely more important. And we see that they are making choices to buy particularly fruits and vegetables that have higher vitamin C or have a higher nutritional density when they do their weekly shopping. And I'm sure everyone's aware, and maybe a few of us have dabbled in online shopping and online e-commerce from some of our retailers, but omni-channel is really on the increase, and definitely the pandemic that we've been through has increased the rate of this. And so getting food delivered to your home, be it from a retailer, be it from a special box delivery, being able to go to a mobile spaza store, really is a trend that has accelerated and is going to be here to stay in the future. And then, the fourth industrial revolution that is all about digitization is really taking some leaps forward. And we're seeing a lot of companies in the fresh produce space starting to deploy digitized traceability, literally from farm to fork. So you can track your food literally throughout the whole supply chain and understand the safety of that food until it reaches the consumer at the home.
Now, Lianne, the fresh produce sections in supermarkets attract attention with vibrant colors and the promise of fresh offerings, but it has remained one of the least branded grocery categories. What is your advice to producers and sellers about the branding of products in the fresh produce space?
So for retailers, their fresh produce space has always been their flagship, demonstrating the quality and the freshness that they as a retailer want to showcase. But there are opportunities to work closer with your retail partner. I would say that more than ever, consumers are looking for companies and brands to give them a little bit more back. So this can be done through some promotional activities. So if you're looking to extra bigger packs for the same price, buy one, get one free, those are always great value options now, especially as consumers are a little bit hard hit. I would also say communicating the nutritional aspects of your fresh produce is key at this time, and looking to partner where you can with your retailer to do co-branding, add visibility, add color to your product labels, and look to do promotions with them would be a great way forward.
Now, Lianne, next week, PMA will be hosting its 10th Fresh Connection, a Southern Africa conference, and there is a specific focus on health and wellness. Just tell us a bit more about this session and what we can expect.
So we had a lot of feedback from our country council and some of our members at PMA, just saying that one of the focus they would like to have at our event is about health and wellness. Everyone feels that they've been through a little bit of a tough time, and some support on self-care is important. So our opening session on the first day, on Tuesday the 18th, is all about that. We have a renowned world-class physician, scientist, and author called Dr. William Lee, who has a book out called Eat to Beat Disease, and he will be speaking and also doing a fireside chat and taking questions from our participants. And he looks at food as a way to heal the body, and he looks at how food interacts with our system to sort of prevent diseases such as cancer, chronic wounds, obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and vision loss. So I think that's going to be a really great and exciting session for our participants. And then we actually have a cook-along after that. We have a plant-based nutritious meal afterwards that a chef is going to take us all through online, and we're going to have about 200 people across the country cooking together through a virtual platform. So that's going to be a bit fun and a little bit different as well.
Yeah, it sounds exciting. Just tell us briefly about some other highlights on the program.
So for the following 2 days, on the 19th and 20th of August, we have Peter van Ketz, who is a motivational speaker, talking to us about grit, which I think is a very relevant motivational talk to have in this time, to keep going and build resilience and to knuckle down and push through. And then we have some very practical sessions for attendees talking about building supply chains that are agile, which is very important when we go through disruptive periods like we have just been through. We are also talking about sustainability. In this pandemic, people are moving away from, plastic-free packaging to actually wanting all their produce protected. So we feel that we really need to raise the bar of sustainability again and bring that to the forefront, because it's an important subject. And then we also are going to be having a session on retail trends, consumer trends, and we have a panel of experts in South Africa talking about the future of South Africa and how one can pivot their business to take advantage of future growth.
Who can attend and where can they find more information?
So attendance is available to anyone, and the registration process is free. If you go to our website, www.pma.com, and under the events section, you will find there is a South African page for Fresh Connections, and there you'll be able to register. We are also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, and there are registration details on those platforms as well.
Now, Lianne, I can only imagine that this is an excellent networking opportunity, but why would you motivate somebody to attend and to be a part of this?
Well, we also have options to network. So we are the biggest event in Southern Africa for the fresh produce industry. So you will see quite a lot of, let's say, recognizable companies and faces who are attending. And there's an opportunity to be able to connect with them during the event, have meetings, have conversations. And also, we're bringing a lot of thought leaders together in the industry. And during the event, we're actually harnessing the thought leadership of our collective industry to find some solutions as well. So I think it's a great interactive space. It is the largest in Southern Africa for fresh produce. So we're hoping that our industry will be there, connect, and really get some value from it.
And when taking a look at possible opportunities in future regarding the fresh produce industry, if I can put it that way, is there anything that you can tell us about at this stage?
So I think the opportunities going forward for in particular is finding a way to make fresh produce more accessible in rural areas. I think there is a big task in front of us to make sure that our entire population has food safety, and that will be about having access to fresh produce. So I think there is some work coming up, and the industry will start to be rallying together to work on that and make that accessible.
Lianne, we've spoken to you a couple of months ago, and you've been appointed at that stage in your new position. So I just want to find out, how are you? I mean, how are things going, and is it still exciting to be in this new position?
Oh, it is. It's been a bit of an interesting stage. I haven't actually met anyone in person until about 2 weeks ago, where I met my two team, because I joined in the middle of lockdown. So that's been as a networking and a member-based business. That's been quite interesting to meet everyone virtually through a screen. But it's an exciting journey. It's been quite busy in the run-up to our Fresh Connections, which is happening next week. And then following that, we are all systems go for our global event called Fresh Summit, which is the second largest fresh produce show in the world, which normally runs in the US. And excitingly, that's going to be a global event at the end of October. So we're going to be planning for that. So it's a really exciting time, and it's an exciting time in the way that you've got a virtual platform which can reach so much of a wider audience and be able to share thought leadership and knowledge across the industry.
What has been your biggest challenge thus far?
The biggest challenge is being able to connect with people and have, I would say, valuable conversations, because you're having a computer screen in front of you all the time. So one of the big drivers that we have at PMA is that we work with the country council and our members in country to look at the challenges and look to provide solutions through different actions that we do to sort of overcome those challenges, also provide support to our members in the country. So I think part of that has been that everyone is dispersed, everyone is separated. It's very hard to get everyone together to be able to move that forward in the current lockdown situation.
Anything else that you would like to point out at this stage, Lianne, just before we say goodbye?
No, I think that, I think the food, fresh fruit and vegetables is a really, really vibrant industry. We are having quite a lot of challenges from transportation and air freight and like every other business to keep going. But I must say that I think we have an incredible amount of heroes who have really gone above and beyond to make sure that South Africa has had food security during this pandemic, and managed to get fresh produce into all the channels so that we have had pretty much a good supply throughout this. So I just wanted to do a shout out to everyone in the industry to say thank you for going above and beyond and doing a great job.
Absolutely. Lianne, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with this big conference coming up next week.
Super. Thank you so much, Elsa.
Thank you. Dit was dan Lianne Jones van die PMA. Suid-Afrika het tans 9,469 wolprodusente. Die meeste van die produsente boer in die Vrystaat met die Oos-Kaap en Wes-Kaap kort op die provinsiesake. Daar is 2,557 aktiewe wolprodusente in die Vrystaat en die distrikte wat die meeste wol produseer is Frankfurt, Vrede, Smithfield en Harry Smith. Die Oos-Kaap se grootste wolproduserende distrikte is Berkeley Oos, Kraddock en Maclear. In die Wes-Kaap produseer Bredasdorp, Caledon en Swellendam die meeste wol. Daarmee dan vanoggend se program, so skakel gerus môreoggend weer in vir die jongste landbounuus. Ons gaan ook gesels met die netwerkorganisasie SAI wat die tabakboere se belange in die hofsaak rakende die voortsleepende tabakverbod verteenwoordig oor die jongste verwikkelinge in die verband. Bly gerus ingeskakel vir die groot ontbyt om 6uur. Stuur gerus 'n e-pos aan Rolien@bloudruk.co.za om op hierdie program te adverteer en geniet die res van jou dag.